Extremely sorry for the delay due to some
Sorry for
technical.
that.
I am your host Jyoti Prakash.
I am your host
And today we'll
Jyoti
be
Prakash. I am
discussing
your
on how
host
to
Jyoti Prakash. I am your host 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 Jyoti Pr
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is your host Jyoti Prakash. We are joined with Mohammed Stas. We are joined with Rinjan Academy and Coding Rinjas and Code Share. We also have a YouTube channel with over.
All right. Okay. So I want this session to be interactive so that I can talk to you guys and resolve your queries. First of all, is there an option to unmute people?
Yeah, sure. Like in the meeting, if people can raise their hand, I can unmute them.
Awesome.
Yeah, they can also write in the chat box so you can read their queries.
All right, great. So let me give you a brief introduction about myself, as you already introduced me. So currently I work at Google as a software engineer. Before that, I was working in CureFit as a software engineer. I am a 2021 graduate. I have a YouTube channel as well where I teach data structures and algorithm. It is known by the name Leetcoding by Faraz. Then there's another channel, Faraz, on which I share experiences, not only my own experiences, but some success stories as well. Because sometimes we tend to think that, okay, we are from a certain college or we started very late and we cannot do anything. So that's not always the case. There are always options open. Lots and lots of options are there. So that's what I try to cover on my second channel, which is Faraz. So in today's session, Ashutosh, we can unmute Ashutosh. Can we please unmute?
Ashutosh, I have enabled your mic. You can unmute yourself.
Then we have SK Safi also.
Hello, Safi. You can also unmute yourself. Please unmute.
I think
Hello, is it audible?
Yeah, it's audible.
Good evening, Firas, sir.
Good evening, and who is it?
SK Safiullah.
Okay, Safi, yes, tell me.
So companies ask us DSA because it is a mark for our problem solving skills. Like if we know a good amount of DSA or a good level of DSA, then it shows that we can solve problems up to a certain level, and which can help us in development also, like in certain cases, creativity.
Correct.
Problem solving with our unique problems.
Yeah, absolutely. So they check our problem solving skills. And why do they do so? Because there are lots and lots of problems when you deal with development, when you're developing a product. There are lots of new problems, open problems that you need to figure out, right? You're going to be a software engineer. So a software engineer is handed over with a problem statement that this is the problem and we have to find solution to this problem. Okay, then there are lots of steps. First step is basically looking at the requirement. What are the requirements? What are we going to make? Okay, how is it affecting users? Then doing a detailed analysis, coming out with a product discussion, and then final step is development. That's the last step. Okay, then there is testing, and then there's lots of iterations, testing, and then developing again, then again testing, then developing. So this problem solving is involved in each of these steps. Okay, and a software engineer should be able to do all of these things. Development is just a part of being a software engineer, right? It's just a small part. Let's say if you get hired as a software developer, you might be working on Spring Boot, you might be working on Java development, or maybe Node, and these technologies keep on changing time to time. Okay, if you change your team, these technologies are going to change. If you change your company, these technologies will again change, and over time new technologies will keep coming, and you won't be able to stick to one. That's why companies main target is to check your problem solving skills, not your development skills most of the time. Okay, so how to do data structures and algorithm efficiently? The first thing is you should start it as soon as you can. Okay, now I'm not saying that if you are already in your third year or in your fourth year, it's too late. It's not too late if you start it now. It takes time to digest things, right? If we learn an algorithm and if we practice few problems that algorithm, we will be able to learn it, but it will retain in our memories only for a few days. Okay, it's very volatile. So that's why we need a long practice for this. That's why we start data structures and algorithm as early as we can, so that we have enough time to practice. Okay, and later on we can look at other things such as project or your computer fundamental subjects or aptitude. All these things can be covered easily, but problem solving, data structures and algorithm should be there. It should be there as early as you can start it. So how much time is it required to cover the entire syllabus? According to me, the idle time duration is 6 months. Okay, you can do it in 3 months as well, but again that will depend that how much time you are putting in. With college it might become hectic because you will be able to give only certain hours in a day. But yeah, it's very much possible to do it in 3, but 6 months is an idle time. You will be able to enjoy it in 6 months. You will be able to participate in a lot of contests and then upsolving after contest, learning new concepts. So yeah, there are topics, there are easy topics, and then there are some advanced topics. Most of the companies target these easy topics. Again, they want to see your problem solving skills, and good problems can be formed using easy topics. Just using arrays or just using binary search, some very good problems could be formed. Okay, I have never encountered with any question which uses segment tree or Fenwick tree or very advanced graph algorithm. Mostly it is DFS, BFS, topological sort, very basic graph algorithms, or binary search, array based questions. But those questions are good. Okay, those questions are tricky questions, but the data structures algorithm used there are not so difficult. So what's the conclusion? The conclusion is you should do practice. You should practice a lot of questions. You should know all the variety of problems that could be formed, so that at least those patterns get developed in your mind. Whenever such a problem comes, you already know that this is the algorithm or this is the data structure that I should be using. Okay, there are a lot of platforms for practicing. One very good platform is of course Leetcode. I personally have solved more than 1,000 questions on Leetcode alone, and yeah, it's a very good platform. The difficulty level of questions on Leetcode is not very high or very low. It is just in between, the difficulty level that we can expect in an interview. Okay, those questions they don't always demotivate you. I started with Code Chef and Code Forces and used to get demotivated whenever I get stuck at a question, because those questions were very difficult. Code Forces D question I was hardly able to solve during a contest. Code Forces E was very difficult for me. So I started with Leetcode and I stick to it, and yeah, that was very helpful for me. It was peaceful. So yes, you don't have to put in all of your time into a single place. You can distribute it between your academics, between your data structures and algorithm, little bit of project, and then your fun. So all these things should be balanced. Now we are open for questions. I have told you the platform, I have told you the duration, I have told you there are what topics are there. Now I am open for all the questions that you want to ask. And yeah, you can raise your hand. We will
Guys, you can raise your hands, or you can even write in the chat box.
Yeah, you can write in the chat box if you're not comfortable talking. Otherwise, you can raise hand.
Yes, Kesafi, you can go on.
Yeah.
Sir, how to like think the logic? Like if someone has done ample amount of topics in DSA, but still during the questions he can't think of the logics, like the mixed questions where he doesn't know which topic it is from. Then
So it happens with everyone actually. Like the question is in front of us and we are not sure whether it is a greedy problem or it's a dynamic programming problem or a graph problem. It happens with everyone. Like even with me now also, if I will sit and solve a problem, it can happen with me as well. But with time, what I realized is like if I'm solving a lot of problems, the patterns get repeated. So most of the time, whenever I'm doing a DP problem, I know that okay, there are lots of possibilities, and to explore all the possibilities, there might be some overlapping problems as well. And I get the intuition that yeah, this could be solved using DP. So the answer is we will have to practice questions. We will have to look at all the variety of questions that could possibly be solved using this particular algorithm. And after solving, and yeah, it's not always the case that you will solve question one time and you will remember it forever. So there are certain questions which I had to solve again and again, just because like every time I saw those questions, it seems like okay, I'm solving a new one, and I was not very aware that what algorithm or what data structure should I use. So a couple of questions were there which I had to solve again and again. And yes, it's the part of practice. You will have to practice multiple problems from each data structure and algorithm. So you can go to Leetcode, then there is some filtering on the basis of topics. Then if you will search, let's say if you want to practice tree questions, just click on trees, you will get all the questions. Arrange them according to the difficulty level. You will arrange them from easy to hard. Okay, arrange them from easy to hard and start solving those questions. Solve as many as you can. Try to classify them. Classify means like I used to classify problems. Okay, this is a certain pattern of problem, this is another pattern of problem. So I used to classify problems like this. There's also a DSA sheet which I made using like, which includes all the problems which I solved and which my sister solved. So you can refer to that sheet as well. You will find a good collection of problems there.
Raj, there is also a question in the chat box.
Yeah, I'm not able to see the chat box actually.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. So let me read it out for you. So how hard is it for a non-CH branch student to cover the DSA part if he or she is aiming for a software engineer job?
From non-CSE background. So my sister was from non-CSE background only. She was from electrical, and in electrical the subjects are also like subjects are difficult, much more difficult than computer science. So it is not very difficult if you are able to extract out some time, maybe 2 hours daily, but that should be regular. You will have to be regular in that, because if you will learn something and if you won't practice it, your tendency will be to forget it the next week. Okay, and your progress will come out to be zero again. So for that, just take out 2 hours of your time and start solving, start picking up easier topics, then slowly gradually move on to the difficult ones. Be in touch with the students who are already doing coding, maybe from computer science branch or maybe from your own branch. So it's not that difficult. In fact, a lot of people which are coming to Google recently are from either chemical, mechanical, but they're good at coding. So yeah, you can get good as well. We have Arnish. We can
Hello,
unmute.
am I audible?
Yes, Arnish, you are audible.
Yes, sir. I am asking that if what to do if you are not able to solve that particular question. How to
If you're
proceed?
if you're
What
not
what step I should proceed if you are not able to solve that particular problem? How should I break it? Or what is the approach
okay,
to do it?
okay. So you are asking basically if you're stuck on a problem, then what should you do next,
Yeah, yes.
right? What do you do? Like, can you tell your own personal experience? What do you do?
Mm, I generally try all the possible ways, or
Hmm.
I refer to the description box where the other person had put their problem. I try to understand and write my own problem too.
Okay. My approach is I give it a try. Okay, I read the problem statement again and again 2-3 times if I'm able to catch everything. I look at the example test cases, try to figure out if I can solve it. If I get stuck, there is no way. Like I should not waste the time. So what I usually do is I look at the hints. If hints are sufficient, then I will start solving the problem. So let's say if I'm getting an approach, let's say if I started solving a problem and if I think that, okay, this approach might work, I implement it. Okay. I invest time implementing that. So if it do not work, then I will change the approach. But let's say if I'm totally stuck, I don't know where to start from, then in that case, I will go to the hints and look at the hints. If hints are not working, then I will look at the solution and try to understand that how it is solved. So these kind of things I take as an opportunity to learn rather than just being going into the demotivation state and I'm not able to solve a problem. It is an opportunity to learn.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
We have Sahil.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Actually, in the for the first internship, they generally see what type of project you have made and what type of development you are in and how much good you are at. So how can we manage development and doing competitive programming, or we should halt the competitive programming for the time being?
So it totally depends upon your interest, that what you are interested in. If you're interested in comparative programming, you can give time to comparative programming. Again, data structures and algorithm and comparative programming, there's slight difference. The only difference is in comparative, you will be basically competing with a lot of people. While practicing DSA, there are normal basic problems without the twist. In comparative programming, you will find twist in the problem. It will not be given that which data structure algorithm you need to use. In DSA problems, normal DSA problems, it is already given. Just implemented using this data structure, or you will get the hint. That's the difference. The difference is in difficulty level. And if you want to compete, you should enjoy competing. So then only go for comparative programming. If you actually enjoy it, of course, it's going to help you in placements, because if you're already good at problem solving, so those problems which are normal DSA problems will look easy to you. Now, for development, if you're interested in development, then again, there are a lot of opportunities. You can make project, you can apply for a developer's profile. So be it front end, back end. Opportunities are at both the places. The thing is, what do you enjoy more? Give time to that particular thing. Now, you cannot do both the, I feel that it's a little hectic to do both of these things parallelly, because few of your friends who are already who are giving more time, then of course they will be having more time because they are only doing one thing. So if they are giving more time, they will improve more, right? They will get good ratings, they will participate in the contest, get good ranks, then you will feel demotivated that you are not able to do that much. So these kind of things can arise. So just prioritize, what do you want to get good at? It could be development, it could be comparative programming. Data structures and algorithm is a must thing that you should and you will have to do. Okay. I'm talking about the general placements. Even without you doing DSA also, people get placed, but then the number of such companies are less. I'm talking about a general scenario. DSA, you should do in either case, if you're doing development or comparative, but you can make a choice between comparative or development, which one you want to pick. Okay, go for one, I would say.
Even if I don't consider the competitive part, means like I'm attending contests like on CodeChef, but the problem is like when I am learning something like React, I actually do it for a week or two, so I lose the touch of the code DSA part, which is causing me, means my friend are doing better at the contest. They're able to solve 2 to 3 more questions than me. So that part, that is why I was telling.
Yeah. So see, if you will attempt to do both of these things, then you might not be able to do either. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why being in touch with what you are doing is very important. Like you will have to practice that thing again and again. So if you're doing development, you will have to practice it. Otherwise, you will forget. Okay. Otherwise, you will not be able to improve. So pick one, start implementing it, and yeah, you can make a project, but making a project doesn't mean that you should be very good at development. Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Sahil. We have Mariam.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
I was just asking you, what sort of projects should we be doing to display our the DSA understanding and stuff? Because as I understand, the projects are very important now. I've never really understood what sort of things I should be working on to display those.
Basically, you're asking for a practical project to practice your DSA.
Yeah, I never really understand what sort of things I should be making to display I understand this or something.
Got it. So, sometimes people make projects on DSA as well. So there are a few algorithms you might have heard of. Have you done greedy algorithms?
Yes.
Have you heard of Huffman encoding? Huffman decoding? So that particular algorithm is used to compress text files. That could be one approach. Like you can implement that file compressor, file zipper compressor. So that is going to compress your text file. It is going to encode it. Okay, using that algorithm. That is one project. Now, how will you get it? So you can search it on GitHub in whatever language you prefer, be it Python, C++. Will be available. This project will be available. The implementation will be available on GitHub. You can have a little hint of it, that how is it implemented. You can convert it to your own project. That is one case. Now, then you might have heard of Graph.
Yeah.
You can make projects using these algorithms as well. You can make an kind of map, Google Maps.
Yeah.
There will be a source, there will be a destination. Find the shortest path from source to destination in terms of distance. Which algorithm do we use when we are figuring out path, shortest path?
Breadth first, or no? We go on. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've studied the DSA. So
we use BFS.
Okay. Yeah.
But when we are dealing with distances, then we use Digitra's algorithm. There's another algorithm.
Yeah. Okay.
So you will have to use one of these algorithms and implement it. So yeah, implementation could be found. You can search it. There's a video of mine as well, where I have explained 5 DSA projects that you can do using DSA. It's available on my channel. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have. So we have a few more minutes. If there are any other questions, you can go on and ask.
Everyone, you can ask about your queries if you have, or you can even put in the chat box if you are not comfortable in speaking. Just raise your hand so that I can unmute you.
We have Ramaraj.
Hi.
Hello.
Actually, thanks. I have 3 years experience in IT services, but I want to go for product-based companies. So I'm non-IT background actually. That is my arts and science degree. So can I go for DSA, or can I go for in the programming languages, which is the better for me?
Can you repeat the last part of your question?
Sure. Okay. But already 3 years I have experience in programming, but not very strong in DSA, data structure algorithms. So can I go for DSA, or can I go for in the programming wise? Programming means only for as what they given task means we have to complete that much knowledge we have.
So, yeah, as I told you, there are 2 ways. One is that you do, if you are targeting product-based companies, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, all these companies, they will ask you data structures and algorithm for sure. Okay. You will have to do data structures and algorithm for these companies. Now, there are some startups, then there are some companies as well. They don't ask DSA questions directly. They ask development. Like they want to hire you as a developer, not as a software engineer. Okay. So for that companies, either it could be startup or it could be a well-established company. But again, like I feel that like if it's a well-established company, again it will be a service-based company, right? The salaries are not very high at service-based. So yeah, you have these two options. What I would say is do DSA and start applying to product-based companies in parallel. And if you are already working, as you told, you have 3 years of experience. That experience will also be included into it. Some sort of work experience is already there. You can also make a project maybe, so that your resume, it helps your resume to get shortlisted. I don't think you have to bother a lot about computer fundamentals though, because those are expected from a new grad or like who are already working in IT. All right, I hope it answers your question, or did I miss anything?
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we have a question in the chat. Like, I'm currently in my 3rd year and I want to start. How much time will I take to be efficient in it?
I could not hear you. I guess there was some internet issue. Can you please repeat?
Okay, yeah. So there is a question in the chat. It says like, I'm currently in my 3rd year and I'm starting DSA now. So how much time will I take to be efficient in it?
This I have already answered. Like if idle time is 6 months, if you give some hours daily, it could be done in 3 months as well if you actually push it. Okay, so you will have to push your limits for that. Basically, doing it in 3 months from scratch, it's a big deal. So I think idle time is like 6 months. You will be able to do it in 6 months from scratch. All right.
So if anyone has any other questions, they can raise their hand and ask.
Okay, so I think there are no more questions. If there are any questions that you want to ask, you can ask me maybe on my LinkedIn. So you can search me on LinkedIn by name Mohammad Faraz, and then you will find my profile. You can maybe post that. I think Jyoti, you can post the link in the group.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll post it.
Yeah, post the LinkedIn profile in the group, and then we can interact there.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So I guess there are no more questions. So, okay. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you Fras for taking your time from your busy schedule. Oh wait, we have, I guess, one. No. Okay, so thank you Fras for taking your time from your busy schedule. I hope the audience have a great time with you. And thank you. Wait, there is one question from Arya Raj, I guess. Okay. Yeah, Arya, you can go on.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible, Arya.
Sir, I have solved so many problems, but whenever I start to solve any new problem, I'm need a logic for it. So, sir, how I can
logic for it?
Yes.
How many problems have you already solved? How many problems have you already solved?
More than 200. And
So 200 is not a very big number. I guess you will have to solve more problems for that, and solve problems specific to a topic. If you want to get good at a topic, start solving problems from that topic sequentially, and then you will understand that what kind of problems could be asked from this particular topic. So the only solution here is that you will have to do a lot of practice, because 200 is not a very big number. You can use Leetcode for practice.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. All right then. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for us once. Okay, we have SK Safir, I guess.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Do we have question?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, according to you, how many questions should be enough for becoming like sitting for placements?
How many questions should be enough? Sometimes people crack companies just solving like 200 questions, 150 questions. Then there are people who have solved like 500 questions and still they are not able to crack an interview. So it depends on person to person, but an ideal number is between 400 to 500. At least those many questions you should do. You should have a good practice at least. Like then after that, your luck matters a lot in an interview. That's sometimes it happens that like the interview went very well and because of certain reason you're not able to get, but at least your preparation should be good. So you should focus on your preparation, and 400 to 500 is a good number. But then keep a variety, like don't solve all these questions from array alone, just keep a mix of all the topics. Okay. All right then. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, Pras, for joining
Thank
us.
you.